Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell so every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. So, Greg Abbott, the governor of this great state of Texas, has signed a bill saying that anybody coming in over the Mexico border is subject to arrest. And you got a lot of Democrats, a lot of people upset. But let's dive into this because I think this is going to affect, I think both sides of the political parties are using this, are going to try to use it to their advantage. But let's get to it. This is from the yahoo.com by way of the Independent, and it says Texas governor signs sweeping bill allowing police to arrest immigrants entering the U.S. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has given law enforcement sweeping new powers to arrest and deport migrants who illegally entered the state. Now I'm trying to figure out why is this a problem, because the key word here that I see is illegal. Anything that you are supposed to do illegal in this country, you're supposed to be arrested or prosecuted or subject to a fine or ticketed, but you're supposed to get some form of consequence because it goes against the laws, right? Okay. Critics say the new law, which punishes repeat offenders with up to 20 years in prison, is the most draconian anti-immigrant measure passed in more than a decade. Wow. Under SB 4, police can arrest anyone they suspect of entering from Mexico illegally. Once in custody, migrants can either agree to a Texas judge's order to leave the U.S. or face prosecution or misdemeanor charges. The thing is, I think what the problem, what the word about is, let's say you have some, I don't know, Hispanics, Latins, Mexicans, whatever, who's already over here. And let's say they go back home, right? To visit. And then they try to cross back over. And let's say they don't have their papers. Well, then that could be grounds for arrest. And, you know, but the thing about it is, I mean, it is what it is. I remember back in the day, you used to have things called freedom papers when our people were free from slavery and they had papers, and anywhere they went, they had to show them papers to be able to continue to go on down the road without being lynched or recaptured. Same thing, I guess. So I can see that little part of why they probably are worried. But the thing about it is, if you came over legally to the first place, you would have these issues, right? Because you would have your papers, you have your cards, you have your ID, and you know it might be a small inconvenience of being detained. But hell, we all go through small inconveniences when it comes to the law. But if you do everything right and do everything by the book, you shouldn't have any problems, right? Just go and deal with it and go about your business, and then, you know, sue for civil rights violations later like everybody else. It says migrants who refuse to leave could face arrest again under more serious felony charges, while illegal re-entry would bring a prison term of 2, 10, or 20 years. And I would think this is mainly for the people that's crossing over that river. Not necessarily people who's coming by car or by foot across, you know, border, where there are border checks. When you got people crossing the border, across that wall, across that barbed wire fence or whatever, trying to come through, what they call them, coyotes or whatever. Coyotes get them through during the dark of night. Hell, now they're doing it in broad daylight. But when you got people doing it like that, that's where your problem is, because you don't know who's coming across the border at the where the checks are at. Let alone people who just coming across a field in the middle of the night trying to get over here for whatever reason. Some might be trying to get away from problems and issues, others over here for illegal reasons. You can't know until you stop these people. It's just what it is. Biden's deliberate inaction has left Texas to fend for itself, Mr. Abbott told reporters on Monday. He said the bill's goal was to stop the tidal wave of illegal entry into Texas and predicted it would reduce the number of crossings by up to 75%. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I mean, something has to be done when it seems like you're getting no help from the federal government in stopping this, and you got to fend for yourself, what else are you supposed to do? Let's just say you own a plot of land, some acres somewhere. You got your fences up, barbed wire fence, got your cattle guards up, trying to keep varmints and, people from crossing over your land. And you have no trespassing signs. And suppose if somebody trespassing your land and you give them fair warning and they refuse to leave, you're supposed to be able to do what you need to do to protect your land, right? And your people. Same thing here, it's just at a broader statewide level. The new law is the latest step in a series of wide-ranging crackdowns on migrants at the border and sets up a potential legal showdown with Biden administration. I think, because this bill, if it's in this article, was passed by, I think, the House and the Senate or whatever, Congress in Texas. And all I think it was left was for Greg Abbott to sign it into law. So the feds already knew about this. The president, hell, he keep a watch on Texas all the time. Every time he does a speech, Greg Abbott is in his mouth. So they knew about this law a long time ago. So the thing is, why, if they really didn't want it to pass, why didn't they try to say something, do something, or bring it up, constitutionally a long time ago? I think the Democrats allowed it to go this far because the Democrats are struggling right now with votes. They're losing a lot of votes, especially young voters, black voters, or what have you. And the people that they felt that they needed were the Hispanic vote, the Latin vote, the people coming over, trying to hurry and make them citizens, trying to make it to where they can work, join the military, and get voter registration cards, because they're like, well, shoot, we can let these people over. There are a lot of votes there, and then they got families already over here. Everything will be fine. The problem is that it's really not working because you got a lot of people that are pissed off about this open border and this sanctuary city stuff, especially with New York, Chicago, and is it Denver, I believe, and San Francisco. So I think the reason why they allowed this to go this far is to say, hey, look here, my people from the border, look what they're doing. They have made it to where you and your family can't come over here to seek asylum. They're making it harder for you to seek asylum. But the problem is, you have rules and regulations in place, and they need to be followed. Period. People can seek asylum. I can understand that you can be running from the cartel, become running from political harm and stuff like that. I get it. You need somewhere to run. The thing is, there are ways to do it. From what I hear, you can't go to any other country and just say, hey, here I am, now I'm staying. That when you walk in that country, you better have your passport and the reason why you're there, and or a visa. And if you ain't got a visa, you need to show how you getting back home and when you're going back home and when your flight and how they can stay in contact with you. Over here, they saying, hey, come across the border, you know what I'm saying, and we'll get asylum. But you got these sanctuary cities that are nowhere near the borders. How does that work? You got a state that said we get too many of these people in as it is. And it's hard to sit here and go through all this paperwork, all this time, wasting money, time, and resources on stuff that if we have federal help, you can probably, it could be more streamlined and everything can run more smoothly. But without help, what you expect us to do? And you're not giving the states no money. But all the cities that say you can bring in the immigrants, like I said, they way up north. So that's why your boy Greg Abbott is shipping them up north, because he said, shit, we tired of it. You know how you hear people's families be like, they had these little badass kids, and so you have a single mother with a son that she can't control, and next thing you know, she say, man, I'm sending you home. I'm sending you with your daddy because I'm sick of this. Can't deal with this no more. I don't see nobody putting her in jail or trying to sue her. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you send him to where he wanted or need to be wanted. Send him somewhere else except to prison because she can't control him. We can't control all the people either. 48 hours after Trump accused immigrants of poisoning the blood of our country, Governor Abbott signed a dangerous new law targeting immigrants and everyone who looks like them. Congresswoman Joaquin Castro wrote on X. Mexico President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, dang, how many names he got, said on Tuesday that efforts were underway to challenge the new law, according to Reuters. Mr. Abbott's administration has busted at least 65,000 migrants to northern U.S. cities since 2020, in about a year or so, and sent thousands of National Guard troops to the border. I just think if they would have kept that, was it a Bill 42 or something like that Trump had passed, that they would have just let that stay into place, Chicago and New York wouldn't have these issues. But the Democrats want to do something else, trying to appease to a different voter class. Well, here you go. Now you can have them. Texas has put up razor wire along the Rio Grande and erected a floating buoy, both of which are being challenged in court by Biden's administration. A White House spokesperson told NBC News that the bill was extremely law that would make communities in Texas less safe. Hell, how's that less safe? If you're trying to stop people coming over here, and a lot of them, like I said, some of them committing crimes and stuff, how's that less safe? Less safe for the people who are over here illegally? Well, like I said, they should have came over here the way they're supposed to. It was up to the federal government rather than states to determine how and when to remove non-citizens for violating immigration laws. The spokesperson added, the U.S. Border Patrol recorded 2.4 million migrants seeking to cross the U.S. in the past year. 2.4 million. Where in the hell they gonna go? Now, one of the articles I saw said that what he's doing is like unconstitutional and it's violating this constitutional law. But here's the thing: when do you decide what's constitutional and what's not, and what's okay federally and what's not okay? Because it's amazing how a lot of y'all said nothing about marijuana being legalized. But you know what? It's about the same thing, probably. But anyway, marijuana being legal in state level, but still illegal federal level. Now, y'all are fighting to get that state law passed federally so that marijuana can be legal across the country federally, because you sure the hell can't have it if the feds catch you with it. But really, that's kind of, I don't know, it's a little more detailed than that, because states say you can use it recreationally. Well, they're not going to really mess with you if you got like a small amount. The problem is when you're trying to bring in pounds, like 100 pounds and kilos across, crossing state lines. That's what the problem, that's where your feds will get you. They're not really going to trip on like a little smaller bit, but they just want to say, hey, the states, because states usually mess with that small stuff. The Fed get the big stuff. So that's how marijuana really is able to be legal in the states. Now, if you got a dispensary and your dispensary is making $10 million, a year, or $1 million a month, on your dispensary products, yeah, them feds gonna come say something. They gonna come give you a visit. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story, man. Hey, I got no problem with this bill, because like I said, you need some help. Something has to be done. The feds and the Biden administration ain't trying to help out Texas. So Texas say, hey, I'm gonna give you what you want. What the saying say? What the saying go? How the saying goes? Be careful what you ask for, because you just might get it. Well, Democrats, here you go. Anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. With that being said, I leave you in peace, and I'll see you on the other side.